Hey y'all, I'm your host, Aaron Smith of the Offshore Marine Service Association. Each Friday, I'll bring you the Offshore Briefing, a quick rundown of the week's notable developments, updates, and news you need to know in the offshore space. Whether you're on deck or at your desk, we're glad you're here. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Offshore Briefing, sponsored by Maritime in America, which is sponsored by the
Offshore, which is sponsored by Aaron, Ashley, and Michelle.
Exactly. Yes. It's like a nesting doll here.
Yeah.
So yes, I am your host, Aaron Smith, and my co-hosts are Angel Johnson and Ashley Smith. How are y'all doing?
Just great.
I'm doing good today. Not too cold, not too tired. So it's a good day.
I'm internally giggling because, what is the saying? Every thought well laid thought planned.
Everyone, I am married to Biff Tannen.
Yeah. What is it?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, anywho, we kind of do a rough, like this we're going to talk about, but not go into depth before, right? And the Friday offshore briefings are supposed to be, come at you fast, just one topic or just us talking. But sometimes we all have long things to talk about, but we're like, we'll just save that for the next one. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because I love the short ones. And then I listen to Love Murder, and on Wednesdays they do a short case, like 6 minutes long, on what's going on. Can't wait to listen to this week's.
Okay.
So my brain was going.
No, I do now. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone should listen to Love Murder.
That train was very long.
It was.
And had
lots of derailments.
Yes. No, I think
along the
to
way.
Continue the metaphor, that train was just powered by that one thing you see in the cartoons where you pump the one side up and down. The whole freight train was being powered by that.
Yeah. Well, while I'm going my freight train, for anyone that came to our Lunch and Learn on Tuesday, sponsored by Phelps at their office, we had about 25 people. We had a lot of companies owner-operator companies, so, vessel operators.
Great discussion.
And we had some suppliers there that was also interesting. It was all about nuclear verdicts and Jones Act.
For anyone who missed it, Kim Morrison, Colin Cambry with Phelps did a just massive
knockout job.
Amazing good job. They have analyzed jury verdicts and bench verdicts in Louisiana and Texas.
This is pre and post
COVID, and looked at the difference, the trending lines, what seems to be the commonalities between verdict size. Really interesting thing that affects
everyone
in the maritime industry, which is a very litigious industry.
Correct.
Something that we have. There are a lot of lawsuits. Something that you definitely, and then
they went into more questions. Like I felt like our guys
scheduled it for an hour.
Yes.
We were there for
over an hour and a half, almost 2.
Yeah.
Well, because it kept, as all good conversations, and then, because it just kept, more questions kept coming up. Like, that's a good question. What did it? Super, super interesting. And then they brought one of their attorneys in just to kind of, because it was kind of like a tangent question about the
definition of mariner.
Definition of a mariner for the Fair Labor Standards Act versus
Merchant Marine Act.
Correct. Which brought up a whole new thing that we kind of want to do a panel on this at the conference, because it's so interesting and reaches out to so many different industries. We started talking to a lot of our members about the statements that were put out on the Jones Act waiver, and some OMSA and another organization had 2 different messages.
I think there were lots of different messages. And, for anyone who didn't see this week, as was kind of known, and we talked about this last week, that there was an extension of the Jones Act waiver for 90 days. Shockingly, that takes you right past the election. Who would have known? Wonder how they picked 90 days there. They're trying to, because again, like I keep saying, this administration wants the words take action and gas prices in the same headline. Beyond that, they don't care. So as long as they see gas prices, take action, pass election, that's all they want to see. They know it's not effective. But in extending the waiver, and I will say they extended the waiver, this is not a new waiver, they stated that they were providing a market test and that the Defense Department will coordinate with MARAD to determine if there was a U.S. vessel available. And I think a lot of people applauded that, and the AMSA statement didn't applaud that.
Well, because you can't do a market survey when you've already issued it.
Well, they're saying on a case by case, so that every time someone applies, MARAD will immediately
The default shouldn't be to let someone else do something. The default should be let us do it, and if we
prove
correct, yes,
prove there's not a U.S. vessel available.
Additionally, have you been on MARAD website lately? Because I was checking it out early because our website is down. Sorry for anyone trying to contact us on a Thursday. Our emails and websites are down. It's some of the last updates are 2021. So the fuck, or TF as the kids said. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I think we have just seen, and our statement says, we have seen how market tests are manipulated. And if that there is not a very, very deep dive into what is stated and the necessity, I think it will just be a limited waiver in name only, as our statement says, and it will function as a full effective waiver.
Again, have them prove that they can do it better than us and that we don't have why does it have to be the opposite?
Yeah. Or as said another way, like anyone who's going to be requesting a Jones Act waiver and doesn't get it, they should really get a better maritime attorney.
Yes. Yes.
Because you really...
It's like getting to wear school shoes at school and not like getting the permission slip to wear tennis shoes and not school shoes. I'm like, I literally just she stubbed a toe. And like, cool. That's the same difference.
Yeah. I saw it this morning, dropping our kids off at school. It was 80% not wearing.
So they have to wear, Angel, they have to wear school shoes, right? We had to do them too, didn't you?
Nominally.
I don't know the difference. What's a school
shoe?
They
have to wear bucks. Like, for example, Campbell wears brown. Campbell wears brown bucks and Maisie's grade wears black and white bucks. It's just
this
stupid.
is a foreign language too.
It's just
like Vans
school shoes.
Similar.
At my high school, we wore penny loafers.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
just some sort of
whatever it is, and the thing is
it says you can get an exemption.
You get an exemption, and you have to wear white tennis shoes. But they're like, it's like you need a medical, that something's wrong. I'm like, legit. Maisie just wanted to use the elevator at Sacred Heart because she hates walking up and down with her books, and she did quote unquote twist her ankle, but she twists everything. So I just wrote a note to the nurse and was like, Maisie needs her tennis shoes, and can she have an elevator pass? They're like, done and done.
Yeah.
Basically, that's like getting a waiver. For her,
yeah, exactly. Yes. Well put.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I think
I'm on fire today. That text from my mom has got me all hopped up.
Yeah. So there was, I think that's the kind of waivers you will see under this Jones Act.
Can I roll that into, are you done? Because I have something also to light y'all's.
No, well, one more thing I kind of related, and this kind of goes to where the difference in our statements is, I saw a lot was made yesterday because the IRS came out with guidance and said a lot of people were interpreting their statement saying that foreign vessels working in the United States under the Jones Act waiver could not exclude themselves from U.S. taxes. That's what a lot of people took from the IRS statement. That's not what the IRS said. The IRS says that when a foreign vessel cannot use the exemption from taxes under Section 883 of the Internal Revenue Code, only that section. Now, we've done a lot of work on the taxation of foreign flag vessels that operate in the United States for OCS purposes. In that, I know that we look at Section 863, Section 881, Section 882, Section 887, all of which influence how foreign vessels are taxed, and you have to look at them all together. So the IRS statement comes out and says, oh, you can't use Section 883. Well, Section 883 only says if you're engaged in international shipping, you don't pay U.S. taxes. Well, yeah, they're not engaged in international shipping. Of course they'd have to. So it was just a very that was the second grade field days high jump competition bar to clear. There was Section.
Rude. What if that was on Michelle's?
Did you win the second grade high jump?
No.
I did high jump.
That wasn't a thing at my school.
I did it for better playground.
So again, it's that sort of thing of
Didn't we have a conversation about all this earlier? And we were talking about the taxation. Like, of course, they're going to tax U.S. vessels and because it's just like tax because they know we're going to pay because we live here.
Yeah, we did. I
Well,
remember
yeah.
you saying exactly
Right?
that.
Because I did
Yeah.
another analogy about cars. Sorry.
Yeah, no, well, and this is just on the application. We're not even to the enforcement yet. This is just the like.
Shouldn't they make it harder so therefore just like I literally can't win.
So, yeah, and I think that again, it's that sort of understanding of why we don't get all excited when they say, "Oh, we're going to do a market test," or "Oh, look, IRS put out a statement on Jones Act waivers." I think we have the history that makes us a little bit more jaded, and that's why we have a difference in our statements.
Gotcha. Again, we're not angry. We don't hate everyone. We do play nice with others. We just call shit when we see it, right? And people should call our shit when we see it, and they do. They all the time. Well, I, do for this and for Friday Fast Facts, I try and help you and pull, like, I have a report that comes out on Thursdays with everything that's going on. Some of it's useful, some of it's not. One of it was talking about BOEM held Gulf of America lease sale BBG3 on August 12th, generating approximately $82.7 million in apparent high bids on 59 blocks. That sounds
how many bids were there for 59 blocks?
That sounds awesome, right?
Yeah, lots.
Right? Yeah. But then if you start digging into it, it's pretty fascinating.
Yes, it is.
Well, so 59.
There are 59 successful bids.
69 bids.
Yeah.
For 59 blocks.
So there was only presumably competitive. There was only 10 not winning bids. So in a auction, this was an auction. You think about like a guy talking fast, pointing at different people and people holding up signs. There was only 10,
I was about to imitate it.
Yeah, there was only 10 times where the guy was like, blah, 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 and then not just bang the gavel and go, sold.
Right? They say 69 bids from 16 companies covering 59 blocks. Yeah. I would love to know those 16 companies and what subsidiaries, those, like, all of that.
Doesn't seem like an auction, does it?
No. So then I started thinking, like, how much money, like it says, the immediate revenue for the government was about 82 million, right? But if they would have gone, I'm not going to tell everyone how I did this, but if they would have like opened it up, like it says it potentially $16.7 million in losses had they not gotten more bids.
True. It could have, yes.
A potential.
Yes. But here's also the thing. So right now, the latest figure I saw was the break-even point on a barrel of oil is $57 in the United States in U.S. offshore. Right now, oil is trading at what?
I don't know, because
$80 to $85.
Yeah,
way north. So shouldn't there be some more bids there? Like, shouldn't this be a more competitive market?
Especially with offshore wind changing the way it is.
Here's the thing, also, is that in this current market, the one big beautiful bill capped royalties for deep water. It used to be 18 point something percent. Now it's 12% royalties. So you're paying, these companies pay statute, and that's just the ceiling. You then can get deals and pay less royalties. So there's less royalty payments. The price for a barrel is very increased. U.S. production costs have come down now to 57. It used to be, like, I can remember back kind of before the downturn, break even on a barrel of oil from U.S. offshore was 70.
Yeah.
Now it's 57, while all of our input costs have gone up. Shouldn't we be seeing some more bids here and more lease?
Wait, here's another. I'm reading.
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on, so it's very hard for me to read. But
she is sitting 5 feet
yeah,
away.
it's really, really hard. I kind of want to take a picture with my phone and zoom in. Okay. The average winning bid was approximately 1.40 million per winning block, but the average submitted bid was 1.44 million per bid.
So everyone knew exactly what they were bidding.
Right? That's so fucked up.
It's awful.
I mean, like, come on, government, make some fucking money.
Yes.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
Anywho, I might do some more digging and have to investigate this even more. In addition to when you talk about our friend that is now working for an oil company, but we'll talk about her later. It's a whole nother. I want to have a parody account about that. It would be.
I think that is a parody account.
I sometimes feel like it is, but we will dive into that later because I know we're trying to keep this concise, but I just thought that was interesting, right? The lease thing, and
I saw those totals as well, and I just did some back of the napkin math, and the math ain't mathing, as the kids say. Do the kids still say that?
No, I don't think they ever. I think we say it. Girl math would be you get it for free, but you make no money because you got what you wanted. Girl math is whatever, you just get whatever you want.
I know what girl math is. I don't know what you
Our
just
girl
said.
math might be different. Like our girl, this is her girl math. I was saying about how I was scared. I was sad for Maisie because like her friends were all doing something and she wasn't invited. And she's like, just take her to Paris. That was Angel's girl math.
It sounds like a better option than Mississippi.
I'm here for it.
Don't talk to Ashley. No. Don't. No.
Just take her to Paris. Or maybe I'll just send her to Paris with you. Girl math. Okay.
What are you talking about, Angel?
Okay, well, we have some minutes. I'm going to talk about, because I do think that it's related. So I will talk about maritime capability. So I was reading an article on LinkedIn and I came across the concept of normalization of deviance. And what that is it essentially it describes what happens when something that was once considered an exception or a deviation or some type of unacceptable practice happens repeatedly until eventually it gets to the point where it doesn't feel like an exception anymore, it just becomes normal.
So like Ashley's language on the podcast.
That's correct. Yeah.
But not even on podcasts in general.
Because you're definitely not supposed to curse, but you still do it.
Yeah. The girls dropped the F-bomb like 4 times this morning, and I think we only stopped them once.
So a foreign vessel, it comes to a U.S. port. It's allowed to load American cargo and transport it to another American port. And from this perspective of individual shipping, everything seems to work. And the argument that people love to focus on is it's cheaper. But last week, to Ashley's point, she mentioned Amazon may be cheaper, but it's the local store that gives back to the community and employs the community. So putting it plainly, how are the waivers or repeated waivers affecting the American maritime industry? Well, the Jones Act, it isn't simply who gets to carry the particular load of cargo. It's the underlying policy that historically has been tied to the domestic merchant marine shipbuilding and the workforce that can support the nation's commercial and defense interests. So when we repeatedly choose foreign maritime capacity over American, what are we potentially neglecting? We're neglecting security, American jobs, shipbuilding, and our maritime workforce, among other things, but maritime knowledge as well. Because a maritime industry isn't only ships, it's the people who operate them. So you don't necessarily notice when that capability disappears, but one vessel leaves, a shipyard has less work, a mariner finds another career. And if nothing bad happens, not AMSA, but other people, we say that the system's working. And that's the dangerous part, because the absence of a crisis isn't necessarily evidence that we maintain our capability to handle one. So this is where history comes in. And this is a side note. When I was younger, I always heard, from teachers, family, even on TV, if you don't know your history, you will end up repeating it. And I never hear that this day. That idea seems lost. Anywho, let's go back to 1920, World War I. Policymakers believed that the United States needed a merchant marine capable of carrying American commerce, but also capable of serving the country in a national emergency. The goal wasn't simply to have American ships because they were better. The policy was built around maintaining a capability. Ships, American mariners to operate them, shipyards capable of building and repairing them. And World War II showed us why that mattered, because American merchant ships and the mariners who operated them became essential to moving troops and fuel and ammunition, things like that. Now, in 2026, with the increasingly sophisticated technology and security threats that we have, do we still have that maritime capability? Does the repeated reliance of foreign vessels leave the American maritime industry stronger tomorrow than it was today? Because look at the pattern. CBP letter rulings, Jones Act waivers, another extension, another exception, and everything seems fine until it isn't. That's normalization of deviance. I'm not arguing that the waiver is catastrophic. I'm arguing that we should be very careful about allowing temporary exceptions to become our new baseline. Because we're supposed to be restoring American maritime dominance, but are we simply just becoming more comfortable with dependence? Because once the exception becomes normal, we may stop asking the question that mattered in the first place, which is, why did we decide we needed that capability at home?
Well, yeah, I would say we're not becoming more comfortable. I think the rest of the country is seeing what we have dealt with in our segment of the industry. So that's how I'm terrified, but that's just me. Well, good. Well, I like that you rounded out all of the topics that we ranted on, so I appreciated that.
Yeah, I thought it fit.
Good. Well, I hope everyone has a good weekend, and we hope to see you again on our next podcast. We are recording our next big August podcast. We have two special guests that I can't wait to see, two longtime colleagues of ours. And I think everyone will enjoy hearing from them. So please tune back in. Love to have you here, and hope to see you again next week. Take care. Be safe.
Happy Friday.
That wraps up another episode of Maritime in America. We're proud to highlight the voices and stories that keep the American offshore industry strong. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and remember, the course ahead is shaped by those who step up and steer it. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Tune in every Friday for your offshore briefing, and don't miss our next full episode, dropping soon with a very special guest, Mariner's Perspective. Catch you next time.